On February 18, 2020, in Hadia of Midnapur district of West Bengal, some people were going for a morning walk at Jir Gali Ghat. There, they saw something burning on the banks of the Hooghly River. Some people felt maybe someone was burning trash. But many people used to come to this place very frequently. They had never seen anyone dumping trash here, nor had they ever seen anyone burning trash here till date. Anyway, while all this was going on in people's minds, suddenly, from the very same place where these things were burning, a very strong smell started coming, after which people started running towards that place. As soon as they reached their running, they saw that perhaps human beings were being burnt there, and at that very moment 2 people were also seen running away from there. People started chasing these boys, but those boys didn't get caught. Anyway, after that, people reached back to the Hooghly riverbank and tried to extinguish the fire using the river water. In just a little while, when people managed to control the fire, they saw that it was nothing else but the burning things were 2 human bodies. Now it was difficult to know. The condition of the corpses was so bad that just by looking, they could not tell whether these were male or female corpses. Meanwhile, some people had also called the police, and Durgachak police arrived there in just a short time. After which Durgachak police started inspecting the bodies there. Out of these 2 bodies, one body was completely burnt. It was almost impossible to tell by looking whether this body was of a man or a woman. On the other hand, the second body wasn't burnt that much. Her face was burnt. Some body parts were burnt. But it was clearly visible that this corpse was of a girl, who perhaps wasn't of very old age. After that, police called the forensic team to the spot. But unfortunately, even for the forensic team, it was almost impossible to tell by just looking. In fact, they were trying a lot to somehow identify the faces of these bodies. But it was almost impossible. But in just a short while, the forensic team found some important things from there. Like, from the body of the girl that was not completely burnt, they saw some hair that were dyed. Basically, it was clearly visible that this girl was a young girl who had dyed her hair in golden and green colors. Apart from this, they also found an earring near the girl on which SJP was written. But right now, the mystery was almost impossible to solve. What does this SJP mean? Whose bodies could these be, and how would police be able to identify them? Durgachak police couldn't understand, because solving the case was far off. First, they had to find out whose corpses these were, which was the biggest task for them. Anyway, after all this, Durgachak police started investigating the surrounding area. First, they saw that just a little distance from the bodies, a pit had been dug. The motive was clear. Maybe an attempt was made to bury the corpses there, but somehow the culprits couldn't complete the task, because of which, they probably had to burn the bodies here. Besides this, there was a bottle lying near the corpses, from which the smell of petrol was coming, meaning things were clearly visible. Probably petrol was used to burn these bodies. Also, the place where these corpses were burnt used to be a crowded area, meaning it was clearly understood that these corpses that were burnt were probably killed beforehand. But they weren't killed at this place. They were brought here from somewhere else, either to be burnt or buried. Now, since the police had completely investigated the crime scene, they sent both corpses for autopsy. And after this, the only work left for the police was to wait for the autopsy report. Because apart from that, they had neither any information about these corpses nor anything from which any information about these 2 could be extracted. And until the police were waiting for the autopsy report, they filed a case against some people for murder and tampering with evidence. Anyway, this entire incident had taken place on February 18th. Within just a few hours, the autopsy report reached the police, from where it became clear that the 2 corpses were of a woman and a girl. The woman was around 40 years old, and the girl was between 20 to 22 years of age. But one more revelation came from this autopsy report which perhaps no one had even thought of. Actually, the police found out, according to the autopsy report, that before burning, both of them were fed sedatives. Meaning from here you will understand the cruelty of this case. These 2 bodies weren't completely killed before being burnt. Rather, they were just made unconscious using sedatives and then burned alive. This was a very cruel case. In such cases, police say that these murders happened due to personal enmity, due to some kind of jealousy or due to very big conflicts, in which the people who commit the murders often try to satisfy themselves by torturing the person very badly first. Perhaps something similar was done in this case too. But after all, who could have enmity with these two women, especially when their age gap was very big? Now from here, the police contacted surrounding police stations. They started asking everywhere, had anyone filed a report of two women missing? One around 40 years of age and the other between 20 and 22. But unfortunately, even after this, police got nothing. It was very strange that someone from a family is missing and the family hasn't even filed a missing report. After this, police began to suspect that maybe the family itself had a hand in the murder of these two, because of which they didn't find it necessary to file a report. Anyway, the police had to somehow reach to who these two women were. After that, police took the help of social media. Police posted pictures of the girl's dyed hair on social media. Besides that, they posted photos of the earrings found on her, and also shared all the information. And according to the autopsy report, whatever information came out like their age, weight, height, everything, the police shared it in this post and urged that if anyone has any information about such two known people who have been missing for quite some time, or if anyone has any info regarding them, then they should directly come to the police station and contact. The police had made that post on February 20th. Within a short time, this post became very viral in surrounding areas, because of which finally, police received a lead on February 21st. On February 21st, police received a call from a person, and this person said that his two relatives, both girls, have been missing for quite some time. He also tried to contact them, but even that didn't happen. And these two ladies used to be very active on social media, but for a long time they haven't been active on social media either. Apart from that, the biggest thing, the most important information police got was that these two women were mother and daughter. Meaning, the one who was 40 years old, her name was Ramada, and the one whose age was said to be 20 to 22 years, she was actually a 22-year-old girl named Riada. And these two had not been active on social media for quite some time. Seeing this, that relative had called the police. Along with that, police also found out that this mother-daughter duo were residents of New Barakpur in West Bengal. Now taking this address, police reached New Barakpur on February 22nd itself, where they started showing the photos of both of them to people in the surrounding area. Actually, when police found out about these two, the person who had called the police, they also took their social media handles from him, from where photos of both of them were extracted. And with those photos, police reached New Barakpur on February 22nd. Anyway, some people saw those photos, after which they told police their address. Their home address specifically. When police reached their home in a little while, they saw that the house was locked, and actually no one except the two of them lived in that house. This is what the neighbors told the police. They said that this mother-daughter duo also had family nearby, but the two of them lived separately here, meaning no one from their family came to meet them, nor did they go to meet anyone from their family. Although no one even knew where exactly their real family home in the surrounding area was or who their actual relatives were. Anyway, fortunately, police had started getting some leads, and many things were suggesting that probably the two corpses found by the police were of this very mother and daughter. Anyway, after this, police took the contact number of the mother and daughter from the neighbors so that they could check their live location, talk to their relatives, or extract their CDR, that is, called detail records, and police did exactly that. Until now, it wasn't finalized that these two corpses were indeed of Ria and Rama. But even then, police collected all their details from the neighbors. Actually, the neighbors told police that years ago, Rama used to live with her husband and daughter in Navi Mumbai, where Rama's husband had a job. But soon, the two got divorced, after which, between 2017 to 2018, Rama came back to West Bengal with her daughter. But after coming to West Bengal, the two didn't live with Rama's parental family. Instead, they took a separate apartment which was in Hadia. But due to all this confusion, Ria's qualifications and education couldn't be properly completed, and she even failed in 12th grade. Because of which they came back here and decided that she would complete her schooling again from a high school in New Barakpur. But Ria used to feel that traveling to New Barakpur was too much, because of which she took a separate apartment in New Barakpur itself to live in. On the other hand, Rama started living in Hadiya only. Now both mother and daughter were living separately. But sometimes Ria used to go to her mother's room, sometimes Rama went to her daughter's room. They used to spend quite a few nights together in each other's apartments. This is how their life was going on. Otherwise, they had no contact with any family member or any relative. Anyway, by the evening of February 22nd itself, police had received both of their CDRs. Where police first checked Rama's CDR, they saw that there was one contact with whom Rama used to talk for hours. Sometimes there used to be a gap of a few days, but then the conversations would continue again. This person whom Rama used to talk to so frequently, his name was Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was 26 years old. But on the other hand, police began checking Ria's call records too. But in all of this, police saw something very strange. This same Saddam Hussein who used to talk to Rama for hours, used to talk for hours on the phone with Ria too. All of this was very strange for the police, how one person talks for so long with both the mother and the daughter. From here, police started suspecting Saddam a little. Anyway, after this, police extracted Saddam's CDRs and also checked his live location of the night of this incident, meaning the night of February 17th, to find out where exactly his live location was that night. And police were not at all shocked to see this because they were already expecting it. On the night of February 17th, Ria, Rama, and Saddam Hussein, all three were together. From here, the police's suspicion on Saddam became even deeper. Saddam was actually a resident of New Durgachak colony and he was also a labor contractor, meaning he was a kind of construction contractor. Now, after collecting all of this evidence, police understood that they had to arrest Saddam and that they would get further information from him only. Thinking this, on February 23rd, police reached Saddam's house. But they saw that Saddam was not at home. Instead, he had been admitted to a hospital. Police then went straight to the hospital. But when they saw him there, Saddam didn't appear to be very seriously injured. When they spoke to the doctor said that he had only received minor scratches. Meaning, Saddam had probably realized that the police were about to catch him very soon. And that's why he came to the hospital and got admitted to hide. But even there, Saddam got caught. Police arrested him right from there and brought him directly to the police station. During the investigation, like every other culprit, Saddam tried his best to save himself. But when police showed him his live location of February 17th and started interrogating him a little strictly, Saddam broke down and he confessed everything. Everything that happened and why Saddam had finally murdered both of them so cruelly. Actually, Saddam said that when Ria's education had started here in New Barakpur, at that time Rama used to stay alone at home, and to pass her time she created a Facebook account. Within a short time, Rama and Saddam became friends on Facebook. They started chatting. They also started talking on the phone. In a little while, when Saddam found out that Rama didn't live too far from him, he started visiting her very frequently. And if some reports are to be believed, maybe physical intimacy, relationship, all of this also began between them. Apart from this, Ria also used to visit her mother in Hadiya very frequently. One day, when she came to her mother's room, she saw that Saddam was also sitting there. Ria thought maybe Saddam was her mother's friend, and because of that, she also started having light conversations with him. Anyway, after this, Ria went back and started using Facebook again, and there she saw Saddam too, to whom she sent a friend request and relatives. After that, their chatting also began. Within a short time, they exchanged contacts and started talking on the phone too. Gradually, both of them entered into a relationship. But the strange part was that Rama didn't have any problem with this. In fact, all three of them, the mother, daughter, and Saddam, very frequently went on outings together, roamed around, went to hotels, drank together. They had started doing all this together. And Rama had no issue at all with the relationship between Ria and Saddam. When this relationship started, at that time, Ria was just 19 years old and Saddam was most probably around 23 or 24 years old. Some time passed like this, after which Saddam took a room with Ria in Vasudevpur, where both of them started living in a live-in relationship. Their life was going quite well and everything was going smoothly, roaming around, enjoying life. All of this was happening regularly. While Saddam was telling all of this to the police Police meanwhile also visited the houses of Ria and Rama, where they saw some things, like Ria's diary, in which she used to write almost everything related to her life. Apart from that, they found some torn pieces of paper in the almirah. When they handed those over to the experts and experts pieced them together, they saw it was nothing else but a marriage certificate. And this marriage certificate was of Saddam and Ria. Actually, the two of them had gotten married in 2018. After this, Ria's diary was also started to be read. In that, Ria had clearly mentioned that she felt that maybe Saddam also had some relationship with her mother, and that both of them used to be very frequently intimate even during the time of their relationship. All this reached the police. Now Saddam was continuing to tell the rest of the story. Saddam said that everything was going fine, but apart from this, Ria had started forcing him a lot for marriage, because of which maybe they even got married in 2018. But apart from this, Ria also found out something else. She found out that Saddam was already married and had 2 children too. But Saddam had not told Ria anything about it until then. In fact, when they had come into a relationship, he had told Ria that they would get married and that he was single. But now Ria was starting to get more information. Now Ria wanted that Saddam should leave his family, divorce his wife, leave his children, and shift with her. And the second thing, Ria and Rama had recorded some private moments of Ria and Saddam, which they used to show and blackmail Saddam for money. This continued for a long time. Now Saddam didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, Ria kept threatening him that either he should divorce his second wife, or shift permanently with her, or be ready to go to jail. But Saddam didn't want to do any of these, and he planned something very terrible. On the night of February 17th, Saddam called Rama and Ria to his Vasudevpur apartment, saying that they should settle things and fix everything. Meanwhile, Saddam also brought along some sedatives. Usually when the 3 of them sat together, they used to drink very frequently, all 3 of them. But that night Saddam came with full planning and brought sedatives. But on the other hand, Ria refused to drink. Instead, between 8 to 9 p.m. she went to the market and brought dinner. And it was in that dinner that Saddam mixed the sedatives and he himself didn't eat. He let the mother and daughter eat the dinner. After a little while, both of them fell unconscious. And Saddam knew that he couldn't do this job alone. For that, he called one of his friends, Manzur Alam, who was around 25 years old. From here, both of them started making some plans. Saddam told Manzur that they would bury them near Manzur's house. But Manzur refused, saying that there were CCTV cameras installed around his house. After which they made another plan and kept both of them in Manzur's car in an unconscious state, in which Ria was kept on the back seat and Rama was put into the trunk. After which they reached the banks of the Hooghly River. They had made 2 plans. Either they would bury them, or if they couldn't bury them for some reason, then they would burn them, for which they also brought a petrol-filled bottle along. In the darkness of night, when no one was present near the Hooghly River, both of them took the bodies out of the car and started digging. But slowly, morning started approaching. And meanwhile, the bodies of the unconscious mother and daughter started moving slightly. They felt that maybe they would get caught. And in a panic, they threw all the petrol they had brought on Rama's body only, because of which Rama's body got completely burnt. But they had nothing left to burn Ria. Anyway, they had dug a pit, but it wasn't deep enough to bury both of them. So they quickly took out some fuel from their car and lightly poured it on Ria and set her on fire and ran away. But before Ria could be completely burnt, people had already arrived there and they put out the fire. Some people even chased both of them, but by then they had fled in their car. Saddam said that maybe he was planning to shift with Ria, but he had found out that Ria was also having an affair with someone else apart from him, because of which he wanted to get rid of both of them. But both of them were blackmailing him very badly, because of which he had to take this dreadful step. Anyway, as soon as Manzur Alam's name came up, he was also arrested on February 23rd, after which, on February 27th, police arrested another person named Sukhdev Das for fabricating evidence. Anyway, some more time passed and police found out that one more person was involved in this case, named Aminur Hussain, and he too was trying to fabricate evidence. After this, all 4 of them were arrested. But the price that Ria and Rama paid for this, maybe somewhere, somehow, they had also contributed a little to their own deaths. Although no one in this world deserves such a horrific death. But maybe, somehow, somewhere, they too had a slight role in it. Telling you incidents like this never means to hurt anyone's emotions. I just want you to stay aware of people who can do something like this to you, the kind that we see in these incidents. I really hope you all stay well. Take care of yourself. See you next time in the next video. Bye-bye.